The Ticonderoga-class cruiser is a class of warship used by the United States Navy. First commissioned in 1983, they were the first surface combat ships outfitted with the Aegis Weapon System, the Navy's most sophisticated air defense system. They are equipped for air, surface, and undersea warfare. The purpose of the Ticonderoga-class cruiser program was to develop weaponry that could reliably take out elusive Soviet cruise missiles fired from the air, the land, and underwater. Between 1983 and 1994, 27 Ticonderoga-class cruisers were commissioned. Of those, 19 were built at Ingalls Shipbuilding in Pascagoula, Mississippi, and the rest were built at Bath Iron Works in Bath, Maine. These warships have been instrumental in U.S. Navy operations around the world, but big changes are coming. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how Arleigh Burkes are slated to play a key role as Ticonderoga cruisers get decommissioned. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted VPN brands worldwide that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte, an industry-leading Big Four auditing firm. NordVPN provides an encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy by preventing external entry to your internet traffic, as well as enabling you to access content that's blocked based on geolocation. Best of all, with one NordVPN account, you can secure up to 6 devices at the same time. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive savings by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The U.S. has 11 carrier strike groups, or CSGs. A warship acting as the air defense commander for a carrier strike group is tasked with monitoring all aerial activity within the group's operational area. It coordinates efforts across the CSG to identify, investigate, and, if necessary, neutralize potential threats. Serving as the nerve center of air warfare operations, it has the capability to leverage all air defense assets within the CSG to accomplish its mission effectively. Traditionally, Ticonderoga cruisers have been responsible for this duty, but now they're getting phased out. As of 2024, there were only 9 Ticonderoga-class cruisers in service. While the U.S. Navy has partially changed its plans to decommission the last of its Ticonderoga-class cruisers by 2027, with 3 of the ships now set to continue serving further out toward the end of the decade, but there are 6 more Ticonderoga warships in service now that are still slated for decommissioning in the next 2 years. The U.S. Navy has 4 variants of Arleigh Burkes: Flight 1, Flight 2, Flight 2A, and Flight 3. Flight 3 destroyers, specifically designed to assume the air defense commander role, will eventually take over Ticonderoga's mission. Flight 3 has ANSPY 6 V1 active electronically scanned array 3D radar with 37 RMAs, or radar modular assemblies, on each of its 4 sides. The transmit-receive modules use new gallium nitride, or GaN, semiconductor technology, allowing for a higher power density than the previous gallium arsenide radar modules. The new radar uses twice the electrical power as the previous generation, while generating over 35 times as much radar power. It's estimated to have a 15 decibel sensitivity improvement compared to the previous generation ANSPY 1 radar, or capable of detecting targets half the size at twice the distance. However, as of now, only one ship of this class, the USS Jack H. Lucas DDG-125, has been commissioned into service. As the U.S. Navy waits for more of its Flight 3 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers to join the fleet, existing Flight 2A DDGs will increasingly be taking on the air defense commander role in a carrier strike group that has long been served by the aging Ticonderoga-class cruiser fleet. Ticonderoga cruisers traditionally assigned to the missions have larger combat information centers, or CICs, with more watch standards and specific hardware. However, advances in destroyer hardware and the evolving Aegis combat system have made Flight 2A destroyers capable of taking on this role as intended by the Navy, even if it requires some compromises, such as tighter quarters due to increased crew size. This year, Flight 2A destroyers will play a growing role as air defense commanders, with plans for each of the Navy's 11 carrier strike groups to eventually have a designated DDG for this mission. Surface fleet leaders have expressed optimism based on the performance of DDGs that successfully fulfilled this role for 2 CSGs last year. Reflecting the elevated importance of this mission, destroyers assigned to Air Defense Command roles will be captained by officers of 06 rank, the same rank as cruiser commanders, rather than the 05 rank typical for destroyers handling traditional missions. It's important to note here that ANSPY 6V4 with 24 RMAs on each of its 4 sides will be retrofitted to Flight 2A Arleigh Burkes destroyers. The U.S. Navy currently has 74 destroyers in the Arleigh Burkes class. 2 Flight 2As and 18 Flight 3s are already under construction, or their purchase has already been authorized by Congress. The keel was laid for the second Flight 3, the future USS Lewis H. Wilson, Jr., DDG-126, in 2023. The future USS Ted Stevens, DDG-128, was also launched in 2023. But other Flight 3 vessels have delivery delays. Arleigh Burkes also have lower number of VLS, or Vertical Launch System, cells, 96, compared to Ticonderoga's 122, which will affect weapons load, since these cells accommodate a variety of weapons, including air defense missiles like SM-3, SM-6, and Enhanced Sea Sparrow Missile, or ESSM. Recent reports indicate that U.S. Navy warships had to leave the Red Sea fight for weeks to reload their weapons. So the transition will have challenges. The U.S. Navy leaders have voiced confidence in the ability of Flight 2A destroyers to manage their air defense mission while the service awaits the full deployment of Flight 3 ships. However, this situation shows the problems faced by the U.S. Navy and the American shipbuilding industry in procuring and delivering warships on schedule. Although legislative and other initiatives aim to address these shortcomings, it remains uncertain whether U.S. shipbuilding can be effectively realigned for greater efficiency and reliability. The circumstances mean that both Flight 2A and Flight 3 Arleigh Burkes destroyers are now positioned to take up a key role.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.